Lewis at the Cowboys Practice Field in Oxnard, California, for today's practice report. You know, the fun of it is trying to figure out where I'm going to do this from. And I thought about trying to do it from a VIP area over that way, but then people were coming in to clean. And then I thought about going somewhere else over that way, and then there was just too many people walking by. So what I've settled on the last couple of days is just outside the VIP restrooms. So I'm sitting next to the toilets, if you guys were wondering. But it's time for a Cowboys practice recap. If you wanted to start off positive, I would start off with Tony Pollard popped a couple of big runs today, and dude, he looks so freaking explosive and quick and decisive. Tony Pollard looks absolutely awesome, which is great, except for the fact that they're going to give the other guy the ball way more than they give it to him. But Zeke does look good too. Like, Zeke looks good. Pollard looks awesome. Did Jeremy Sprinkle really get hurt? I guess we can do that. You want the injury report? Here's the injury report. 3 guys missed practice today. That would be Jake Ferguson, the rookie tight end. That would be Jeremy Sprinkle, the veteran tight end. And that would be Jabril Cox, the linebacker. Jabril Cox, McCarthy said, kind of dinged his knee a little bit, but said it's fine. He'll practice Thursday. They have a mock game tomorrow, which means kind of a walkthrough. But he said he'll practice Thursday. Jeremy Sprinkle was an Achilles, but just tweaked. And Jake Ferguson was a hammy, just tweaked. So that's what you got. Pollard looked great. Defense won today. The interior defensive line especially gave the Cowboys offensive line some trouble. Quarterbacks were having to bail out of the pocket to try to make things happen. So there's Jory. Go USA today. I'm telling you guys, I got all the things. So yeah, the defensive interior, whether it was Neville Gallimore or Oso Digizua, sometimes Carlos Watkins, Tristan Hill popped up and made a play. The interior defensive line had a nice day. The interior offensive line had some trouble with them. Now, I did record every play of the combo period. Combo means that they'll have the center, a guard, and a tackle. They'll have 3 guys. And then the defense will have 2 or 3 guys. And they're working sort of a half of the field look at the line of scrimmage. So I can go back and actually watch through all those. And if I have any big-time takeaways, I'll get them to you. But in real time, I would say the interior defensive line beat the interior offensive line. And I would say swing tackle Josh Ball got beat a couple of times pretty badly by Sam Williams. And by 59 is Marcavius Bryant. And on a 4th down in live action, DeMarcus Lawrence smoked Terrence Steele. Tyler Smith did pancake Osa, but you need context with that. They were doing the combo period, and Osa did not win initially, so he was doing what any defensive lineman is going to do at that time, which is try to get disengaged, try to make a play towards the ball, so he went for a swim move. But when you're locked up with a giant, super strong human and you try that, you expose yourself. And so, yes, he lifted him and he buried him. Eric, I appreciate you there in the super chat, and that reminds me to make sure that I pay the bills while I'm here and tell you guys that Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Okay. So judging by our front office urgency, we're gunning for 9 and 8 in the first round exit this year. Who stepped up at wide receiver after the injuries? All right, that's where I will be giving you a name to know, and I would like to apologize to Tom Downey and others from yesterday when James Washington went out and Dennis Houston, who wears number 3, was running with the ones. I was like, well, he must just be the other guy that plays the X, and because surely an undrafted free agent is not going to be a starting wide receiver. But for the moment, while they're not bringing anybody in, you need to know the name Dennis Houston. He is a wide receiver, undrafted free agent out of Western Illinois. He had 90 catches and 1,000 yards there. And Mike McCarthy was asked about him because he's running with the ones. It was actually Dave Hellman who asked Mike McCarthy, hey, can we read into who's getting the reps with Dak? Because Dak only gets so many snaps and throws so many passes on a given day. Can we read into who gets the snaps with him? And Mike McCarthy said, yeah, there's a little bit of earning that goes on who gets to take those snaps with Dak. And right now, it's CeeDee Lamb, it's Jalen Tolbert, and it's Dennis Houston. Does that make you confident heading into a season that, in theory, two of your starting wide receivers are going to be rookies, one a third-round pick and one an undrafted free agent? No, doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. But that is where they are right now. And from both Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy, it sounds like they are not in a hurry to bring in a veteran to join into this competition. And I know what their thinking is. The problem is that their thinking is a product of what their previous thinking was, and they screwed it up before. So now, would it be nice if they brought in somebody who might be washed, like T.Y. Hilton or Emmanuel Sanders, or somebody who's hurt all the time, and Will Fuller, who missed most of last year with a finger thing, and there's some other questions about other stuff going on there, but Will Fuller has question marks around him. Cole Beasley burned bridges here. He's a slot-only guy. Like, all the guys out there that we mentioned as potentially dudes to bring in that I'm like, yes, please do, because I want to have, guys who have experience in the NFL on my receiving corps. None of the options are great. None of those options are great. And so at this point, when you look at what's still available and you look at the guys that you have on your roster that you've been through minicamp and OTAs with, if you feel okay about them and you're going to, go into a preseason, at least preseason week 1, and see how they play, it's terrifying to me. But if they say that Dennis Houston has earned it, and I listened to him interviewing with a TV station right after practice, and you know what? He seems really like down to earth, humble, but kind of confident. Like, he feels like he belongs out here, and he doesn't look out of place. But that's just a lot, man. You're expecting a lot if you're expecting that you're going to have 2 of your 3 starting wide receivers be rookies, and you're putting yourself in a place where, if God forbid something happened to CeeDee Lamb, holy cow, your receiving core would be Noah Brown and Dennis Houston and Jalen Tolbert. And that's not final either. You've also got Simi Fehoko was taking some of those reps with the ones. TJ Vasher was taking some of those reps with the ones. I think Noah Brown got a few of them. But none of that is encouraging in terms of the names potentially being starting wide receivers. But next thing to note from today's practice, we did the injuries. We've talked about the wide receivers. We talked about how the defense won today, but we also got to see Tyler Smith unleash the power. We talked about Tony Pollard, Dak Prescott. Dak, for about 2/3 of the practice today, didn't throw the ball very well. There was at least 3 balls to CD where one was he was rolling out to his right, and CD's coming across the field with him, and he just airmailed it, and CD was wide open. Another one, I believe, was an in route from right to left that CD was running, and Dak airmailed it. Another one, Dak was rolling left, and CD was breaking on a post, and he just overthrew him. He was open. So he started off the day not throwing the ball real well. And by the end of it, the last 2 things they did were called pressure period, which is full 11 on 11, but the defense is going to be sending extra guys. Basically, they're going to be blitzing. And Dak threw it really well in the pressure period, and then the end of game 2-minute drive went like so. Screen to Zeke for 8 yards, slant to CD for a first down, Tolbert over the middle for 9 yards, slant to Schultz for a first down, defensive holding on a Schultz route, incomplete screen to Pollard where CD was out. These next 2 plays, CD's out, okay? It's 1st and 10. Incomplete screen to Pollard. Dig to Vasher, but it was incomplete. Him and Simi were the wide receivers. CD came back in for 3rd and 10, and he caught an out route for 9 yards. 4th and 1, throw to Zeke for 2 yards. Next play, touchdown, CD Lamb on, I believe it was like a corner or an over route. But to end the practice, Dak threw it really well. He threw it to CD a bunch, and that's usually a good plan. And so he had an up and down day, started poorly, ended really well. Simi is making at least a play or 2 a day. Simi Fehoko, number 81, second-year wide receiver. Number 80, Brandon Smith, made a couple of nice catches today. He is a second-year guy, undrafted out of Iowa. Tolbert had a pretty good day. Jalen Tolbert had a pretty good day that could have been a really nice day when they were in their combo period, which is, again, half the field. He beat Donovan Wilson, who was the deep safety, on a deep corner route. He had another nice catch earlier in practice, but he also had a dig route where he had to kind of extend. It would have been a nice catch, but if he made that catch, then he would have had a really nice practice. Jourdan Lewis was really good today. In the combo portion, he had a jumping interception off of Dak, and he had at least one pass breakup, maybe two. Kelvin Joseph out here has had some pass breakups, but he's also been doing a lot of grabbing and giving up some plays. There's no competition at corner out here. Jourdan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Trayvon Diggs. Those are the guys. There is no competition. Joseph is not pushing for playing time. He's going to be playing special teams. Nashawn Wright actually had a nice day today. He had an interception yesterday and a pass breakup yesterday, and I believe he had another pick today. And McCarthy talked about how he thought he was off to a good start here. Both of the kickers were bad today. That's unfortunate. On Dennis Houston, on Noah Brown, Mike McCarthy said Noah's having the best camp I've seen. He's lighter, and you can see that. I think that Noah Brown's moving around really well. He's moving better than I can remember. I mean, hell, he used to be a blocking wide receiver. Now, when he's running around out there, he doesn't look sort of out of place as an actual NFL wide receiver who's playing snaps. So our second-round pick, 2021, is a bust. I mean, not yet, but at the moment, yes, in year two, I don't think he's competing for a starting job at all because Anthony Brown is having a nice camp. Jourdan Lewis had a great day today. Trayvon Diggs is Trayvon Diggs. There's no competition because he's not better than any of them right now, and he's got a ways to go. So that's where that is. Both kickers were bad today. Peyton Hendershot, tight end, number 49. Rookie out of Indiana, undrafted. He had a nice day today in terms of catching the ball, but then when they went to where they had to block, the tight end coach yelled at him a lot. So good day catching, bad day blocking. Does Dan Quinn take a look at Deion Jones or this? I think they're okay at linebacker. Vander Esch is having a really good camp. Parsons is Parsons. Jabril Cox is having a really nice camp. They just held him out today because if they feel anything in that knee, they're going to rest him, but he'll be back in practice on Thursday. I guess if you wanted to add a guy, I wouldn't be mad at you, but Luke Gifford currently is your fourth guy. Okay. And then the fifth guy is probably Devin Harper, the Oklahoma State linebacker, because they love their draft picks to make the team, and that is a fifth-round pick, so I would imagine that he is ahead of Malik Jefferson and any of these other guys. So there you go. And yes, I see in the chat all of your Kelvin Joseph jokes. I see them. Other notes from today, we got Brandon Smith, Tolbert, Lewis, Joseph, Hendershot. Only other thing I haven't gotten to would be other things from the Mike McCarthy press conference. How is Bland looking? Deron Bland, Fresno State rookie, fifth-round draft pick. He's given up some plays the last couple of days, but I think on the whole he's had a good camp, and the Cowboys really like him. And I bet he makes the team because they love for their draft picks to make the team. Who's this? Look at celebrity. Knew he's in the building. I'm talking through my AirPods, so your audio would suck. But there's the great Newey Scruggs just stopping by. You've now seen Jory and you've seen Newey. You guys are having a great day. Update on Jourdan. He's fine. He was back out there. He's good. I take it you already talked about Jerry saying they have no plans to sign a receiver. Yes. And the problem is that they didn't do it earlier because now it's not like the options are great, but still they probably should. But it sounds like for now, at least, they're not going to. Maybe you need a trade for one, honestly. Find a team that is planning to suck, that has a wide receiver that's okay in the NFL. It's, a tank team. Throw them a 6th-round pick for somebody. I would do that. Other things from McCarthy. Intensity did pick up today. Started getting real competitive. A couple guys started hitting the ground. They are starting to crank that up. He was very complimentary about Dennis Houston and Noah Brown. Praise for Nashawn Wright. Mentioned Tank is off to a good start. Tank looks great. And the kickers have been not good. So that's what we got going on. It's lovely. Let me see. Vasher's 40 time. I don't know. I would bet he's a mid to high 4-5 guy. Which DT has you the most excited? I would say eeny, meeny, miny, Osa. Although Gallimore is built like a house. Neville Gallimore is built different, even than the other defensive tackles. He is a freaking house of a man. That's incredible. Hello, Mims. LaVisca Chenault. Trayvon Diggs is not going to play wide receiver this year. Although I've been wrong before, but I wouldn't believe it. Yeah, one of the things that Jerry said about wide receiver and why they're not all that worried about it, Tony Pollard is one of the things they mentioned. That they have CD, they have Tony Pollard, and they have Dalton Schultz, and they like their young guys. Now, that's still putting a lot on completely unproven NFL players and assuming a lot of health. So to me, that's danger zone. But to the Cowboys, maybe it's not. And yeah, Cooper already turned an ankle. He's got a foot that'll probably be a problem forever. But even with having rolled his ankle or whatever, I'll take it. I would take Amari Cooper back in a heartbeat. You'd feel a lot better about your wide receiver room. Hadn't been a lot of deep balls in camp so far, and I think part of that is just a product of they don't really have the personnel for it. Did they say how long Jake Ferguson might be out for? McCarthy made it sound like it wasn't a big deal. Cox was the only one who he added a definitive thing, but he said all of them were kind of precautionary, the guys that missed today. But Jabril Cox said that he was the only one that he said he'll be back on Thursday. So will the other guys be back on Thursday? I don't know, but he made it sound like nothing was a big deal. And I saw the word wind. I'm really sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't bring a studio out here or put up a structure for myself as much as I would love to do so. Thank you, William Reeves. Look at that. Member of the channel for 6 months. Love it. You're a beast, William. Thank you to everybody who hangs out with me. Also, I need to thank the people who helped me get out here. The Ben and Skin Show, who, if you guys listened, I just did my hit on there. 4:15, Monday through Friday, I do a Cowboys hit with Ben and Skin on 97.1 The Eagle in DFW. It's the best version of their show ever. They used to be my teammates at the Fan, and now I do some stuff with them at the Eagle, and they're absolutely incredible, and they helped sponsor my trip out here. So shout out to the Ben and Skin Show. And shout out to my boy Ziggy, who also helped me get out here. One and only Ziggy.com. ONE for one, not the number. Whoa! Oh, lost an AirPod. I got my AirPods back in now. One and only Ziggy.com, affordable art for you. He's done some things for me. He's done things for Skin, Shippy, KT. He's a beast. The Cowboys been running with 2 tight ends much. One way to mitigate the losses at wide receiver. They have been running with 2 tight ends some, but not a ton. Mostly 11 personnel. They've done a little bit of it, and I wouldn't hate it. McEwen looks pretty decent out here. Ferguson hopefully will make a push for some snaps. So that's good. You make everyone's day better whenever we hear from you, buddy, even if you don't believe it, you do. Thank you, JP. Yeah, I am a human. That is well documented if you watch here all the time, that I've got struggles at different times, including even this week and this month. But I'm not alone in that. I'm sure there are a lot of people watching right now that have their own individual struggles. Everybody does. And guess what? Every day, we've gotten through them. So we'll continue to do it. William Reeves, appreciate you in the super chat. Do you think Jones is bluffing, or will they really ride with the wide receivers they have? Tough part about that is figuring out which wide receiver would you add. It seems like Cole Beasley would be a long shot just because I don't think they want a slot-only guy. Plus, he talked crap about the organization on his way out. I bet they view Emmanuel Sanders and T.Y. Hilton as guys that they think are washed. Will Fuller, hurt guy who has some other stuff. So maybe it'd be a trade. Or maybe it is. I mean, they're not running Pollard out there as a wide receiver that much, but they are playing him and Zeke together some. maybe you are one of the few situations in the NFL where you literally are better off with one of your running backs playing the slot than your third or fourth wide receiver. Maybe. D.D. Westbrook? Maybe. Maybe. This is going to be worth tracking. If week 1 was today, who's wide receiver 3? I mean, honestly, the answer to that is Dennis Houston. Dennis Houston. He's the guy who's running with the ones, playing X. Undrafted wide receiver out of Western Illinois, rookie. Maybe if it was time to get to the regular season, you would switch that and it would actually be Noah Brown, who has played NFL wide receiver. And maybe it's just that they're okay getting the young guys some extra snaps while they're out here. But, man, yeah, right this second, it would be Dennis Houston. Although I would not be surprised if it were a real NFL regular season game that were Noah Brown instead. He's had a good camp, but they're not running with the ones. Even without Washington, he's not running with the ones. He's running with the twos. Well, Dennis Houston runs with the ones. And that may be because Noah, I have to go check my tapes on this, but I bet he's not playing the X. I bet the second team X is, let me get the wide receiver group up, because they're moving a lot of guys in and out. Second team X is, that might be where Simi's playing. And so Noah is actually playing, I only know the positions the way that we used them in college, which would have been either Z or T. They may use F. So, yeah, it's probably just that they don't have James Washington playing that particular position at the moment. But if it were a regular season game, maybe they would. Yeah, everybody, why aren't you mashing the thumbs up button? 78 likes isn't enough. How's the YouTube algorithm going to make me rich on 78 likes? But, yeah, Noah Brown's having a nice camp. We're going to have a third celebrity sighting. Look, it's Joe Trahan. There goes the great Joe Trahan. The injury may be a blessing. We may actually feed CD. Well, that would be nice. I'll tell you what, when they did that in the little 2-minute drill, what's really tough is when CD, because fatigue is a thing, right? You run a 2-minute drill. CD had a couple of the targets. He's running a bunch. As soon as he came off the field, they went from going bing, 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 bing to incomplete, put CD back in on 3rd and 10. He got you 9 yards to get it to 4th and 1. Let's see. How does Ridgeway look with the pads on? I've got all the line stuff and all the 11-on-11 stuff. I recorded every play. So I will this evening, because you can't notice everything live, I will this evening go through literally all of it and try to come up with some good takeaways from the offensive and defensive lines. And to whoever said that about Washington while he was out here, I agree. I don't think that James Washington was having a very good camp either. Like, he didn't look very impressive. I wasn't going to be real fired up about him being a starter. But, I mean, being short him isn't good either. So we'll see what they're going to do. But for now, maybe you're going to start 2 rookies at wide receiver. Joe Trahan loves it. Look at his back. He loves it. He's just walking away from it. So, yeah, CD going to get the ball. DC Star 86, have a snack or something on me. I appreciate your videos to keep us updated. Thank you so much. You are a monster. I appreciate you. Edgar, what's been your favorite part about being in Oxnard besides the training camp? The weather. And hanging out with Hellman. I enjoy having a roommate. I enjoy having somebody around, especially during my recent struggles I've been having where I don't like being alone. Although I have to work on that too, because you know what? You're going to be alone. You have to be comfortable and happy with yourself. So by God, we'll work on that. But the weather's incredible, and I enjoy having a friend/roommate around. That is a nice little perk of what we got going on right now. Outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I got a whole lot left for you, unless a question pops up in the next couple of seconds. McCarthy was around force-feeding Adams, Nelson, Jennings. They're going to try to force-feed CeeDee Lamb. It's such a clear difference from him to everybody else that they almost have to. It's going to be a lot of CeeDee Lamb and a lot of Dalton Schultz. Do you believe we signed another kicker? Not yet, because I believe Bones Fossil was a big Garibay guy. He's one of the reasons you brought in the Texas Tech guy, who's a Fossil guy. So they're going to give him every chance in the world because the special teams coordinator around here has a ton of pull. And then Liram did not outperform him today, but over the course of camp, he probably has. But we'll see. Sam Williams looking okay? Yes. I think Sam Williams is looking okay. I think he's coming into a good spot, too. Sam Williams, defensive end, second-round pick. How are you, Jeff? Is Hellman better than therapy? No, not quite, but Hellman and I can be therapy for each other. We can talk about stuff. What's for dinner tonight? Don't know yet. Sam Williams, I think he looks pretty good, and it's a nice setup they have because they have Dorrance Armstrong technically is starting opposite Tank Lawrence, and then they have Dante Fowler, who looks like he's still got juice as a pass rusher, and then they've got Sam Williams, who has some juice as a pass rusher, but is also showing some power and some pop out here, so that's good for him. Going to Rudder tonight. Unknown at this point. Ridgeway got pancaked by Martin. Everybody gets pancaked by Martin. I think people get bored with how good Zach Martin is and forget that like he's not just technically sound. He's super powerful. He's super awesome. He's a badass. Sam Williams, is he left the end or right the end? He has been running at right defensive end with Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong. I think Basham probably has been. I'm going to pay more attention to that. Has Basham been Tank's primary backup on the left side? Drew in the super chat, Jeff, maybe one of your only fans from New Hampshire and not even a Cowboys fan, just love football. Thank you for helping me get the courage to join therapy. Hell yeah, bro. That is way more important than any football stuff. If I have helped you make a decision in real life that's going to be for the better for your life, kick ass for you and kick ass for me. I'm proud of you. Haley 94 where? I don't bet, but I bet on you to get the Cowboys inside stuff. Thank you. How concerned are you with Tyler Smith's hand technique? I love that he's working with Duke Manyweather, or he did in the offseason. I worried a lot about his technique as a college prospect, which is why I didn't have him as a first-round player. But on the Cowboys so far, let me look at it tonight and see the best I can based off of the footage that I got of practice today. He's been kind of up and down. You see the power, but the interior offensive line didn't really have a good day today. Smith is getting a good chunk of the first team reps. Connor McGovern's getting a chunk of them as well, but Tyler Smith isn't practicing anywhere else, and Connor McGovern's practicing at right guard. So they're telling you who's starting at left guard. It's Tyler Smith. And McGovern will be the backup at both guard spots. How is the USFL MVP doing? Is he the new Lucky Whitehead? Maybe. Yeah, Cavante Turpin. He showed up a little bit. He had one today that ended up being a catching team, but I think in a real game probably wouldn't have been a catch because he would have got blown up because he kind of bobbled it. But you can see it when the ball's in his hands when he makes a catch. That dude's explosive. He's quick. He's fast. He's taking the primary punt return reps right now. Yesterday, Jalen Tolbert was back there with him taking some of them, but today was, I think it was just Turpin back there. How is going independent, Ben, versus being on 105.3? I loved hearing your segments while on the road. I love being independent. I love doing what I'm doing. I actually am loving the stuff I'm doing with Ben and Skin, too, on 97.1 The Eagle. It's just having a lot of fun versus trying to figure out how to fill 5 segments or 5 hours a day with sports. And I admire the guys that do it. I wasn't having fun anymore. I got a lot of friends at the fan. Shout out to them. But I'm having a great time doing this. I'm having a great time filling in and jumping on and doing Cowboy segments with Ben and Skin on the Eagle. Having a great time. Do we only keep 3 guards? No. Hold on. Let's do offensive line then. They usually will keep 9 or 10 offensive linemen. So let's do it. I have my roster in front of me. Hey, come out, Ben. I have a malfunction. All right. Well, I'll just mash it down then. Offensive line. Tyron Smith. Terrence Steele. Tyler Smith. I need to try to fix this pen because it's really hard. Oh, hold on. Okay. Let's see if we can. Thoughts on Rico Dowdle? Rico looks great. If they're going to keep 3 running backs, Rico's number 3. He looks well. Ryan Nall, if they want to keep a fullback type. But offensive line, let's see. I'm just going reverse number order. So Terrence Steele, Tyron Smith, in. Josh Ball, in. Tyler Smith, in. That's 4. Zach Martin, in. That's 5. Connor McGovern, in. That's 6. Biotish is 7, which means I've got Matt Waletzko as a draft pick. So if he's healthy, I would say in. And then Farniak as another interior guy in, and maybe that's 9. Lindstrom or Empey, your free agent centers, maybe to the practice squad. I don't see, I can't. Aviante Collins, I wouldn't think so. Braylon Jones, no. Amon Simon, no. Alarcon, no. I don't think he makes the 53. So it sounds like 9 right there if Waletzko is healthy. Oh, yeah, say hi to the guys, Malik. Of course. Jeff, did the offense look bad today? They didn't look good early. Interior offensive line was struggling early. Dak was struggling early. They won late. They won in the pressure period. They won in the 2-minute at the end. But for the majority of practice, I would say the defense absolutely won over the offense. So you can take that for whatever you want to take it for. All right. We good here? Is that tackle we drafted 2 years back that went to Marshall? Yeah, that's Josh Ball. He's currently your primary backup tackle. He's had some struggles out here, but he's currently your backup tackle. I'll watch all the tape on him tonight. I'll try to watch him, Tyler Smith, Connor McGovern, Terrence Steele, and try to get a good feel for how those guys are doing. Do D-line, and you'll see we're going to cut a good prospect, so why not try and trade one for a wide receiver? Okay, I'll do D-line, because once again, D-line, you'll keep up to 10. Here we go. Let me do the no-doubters first. Osa is in. Gallimore is in. I think Ridgeway's in because he's a 5th-round draft pick, and they love keeping their guys. I'll skip Basham for the moment. Dorrance Armstrong is in. I don't know how Patreon works, Daywade. What would I put on there? I put my content here. If you wanted to Patreon me, there is a way to join the YouTube page as a member, and you get the little emoji thingies and all that stuff, and it gives me $5 a month. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come back to Carlos Watkins. Tank is 5. I'm going to come back to Tristan Hill. Dante Fowler is 6. Sam Williams is 7. So, if I want to keep, I've kept 3 D tackles there. Williams, Fowler, Tank, and Armstrong is 4. Maybe call Basham your 5th edge. Maybe go Chauncey Golston as a D tackle who, if you had to, could line up at end, but he's a D tackle now. That gives me 4 D tackles and 5 edges. 1, 2, 3. So Sam Williams, Dante Fowler, Tank Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, Terrell Basham, John Ridgeway, Neville Gallimore, Oso Odighizuwa, Chauncey Golston. And that gives you the ability, if you needed to keep 1 more between Tristan Hill. It's probably Carlos. It could be Tristan Hill, Carlos Watkins. Maybe you keep Tristan Hill and Carlos Watkins, and it's Chauncey Golston that's the odd man out. But it's looking tough on Quentin Bohanna, honestly. That's who I think it's looking tough to find a way to keep him in there. The element of surprise is your vision of excellence for purpose and confidence each day. I like that. Jeremy, prediction for week 1 starting wide receivers. I appreciate you in the super chat. I guess my prediction is CD, Jalen Tolbert, Noah Brown. And that's putting a lot of expectation on a guy who's been a career 5th, 4th wide receiver in Noah Brown and a 3rd-round rookie. And you are really banking on health. But at this moment, that would be my guess. I don't like us trading. I feel like it'll be Charvarius Ward all over again. That worked out for Kansas City, didn't it? I think that can make it work. Maybe. I mean, he's just going to throw to who's open or who the look tells him to throw to. And maybe he can make that work. But I sure would like to have somebody or some guys with some more juice. Did someone steal your Cowboys floppy hat? No. I chose to go no hat today. And my prediction is you'll go back and work for corporate again. Juan, I don't doubt that at all. I could absolutely see myself doing radio again. I love doing radio. I just didn't like what I was doing right then. But if I find a scenario that I really like, I could definitely see myself doing radio again. Hey, Jeff, how's your mental health doing? Anxiety? It depends on the day. I would say the last few days, depression's been harder than anxiety. The couple weeks before that, anxiety's been harder than depression. But these are things we battle and things we work on, and we will work on them and we will beat them. That's the way it's going to go. Should we take Jerry's comments about wide receiver to mean a post cuts pickup only? You do have that. You do have that option. You do have, when other teams cut down, you may have teams that have some really decent prospects that you like better than some of yours. Give Brown a chance. Give the young guys a chance. Look at Wilson last year. Yeah, but Cedric Wilson had been in the league for a while. Yeah, I'm not saying that they can't make this work. I'm saying it is a lot of unproven and a lot of hope into unproven things. LVE going to resign? If he's looking good, maybe we should keep the Wolf Hunter around? Maybe, but that's also the sort of player that if he has a good year, the Cowboys love to try to replace their guys who make a bunch of money with their guys who make no money. So by next year, they'll definitely want Jabril Cox to take that job if he doesn't take it this year, which he still could take it this year. All right. I think that's good enough. Geez, we've been going for 36 minutes. Well, that's your post-practice update, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if Hellman and I will do something later. That'll be up to him. I do know that I need food. Hopefully he's done writing fairly soon so that we can leave. Otherwise, I'll leave him here, and Machota or somebody will bring him home. But thank you so much to all of you for taking in the content and hanging out with me. I appreciate it very much. Thank you to the members of the page. Thank you to the people who made it possible for me to be out here. Does Deshaun Wright look like he can make a roster spot this year? Yes, he does. No, we're not going to sign any of these. You know, Jeff is a radio man. Can talk for. No, I cannot. I've seen a couple made field goals, but boy, I've probably seen more missed. The weather out here is great. The high is 71 and the low is 60 every day. Right? Probably having a better camp than Joseph right now. And I think they'll keep Deron Bland. And I think they'll keep Marquise Bell at safety if you want another one. Yeah, okay, I'm actually going to go now. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thanks to Bet Online, my homies. Thanks to the Ben and Skin Show. Thanks to one and only Ziggy.com, my sponsors, my partners. Remember, you have no idea what anybody is going through, so be cool to everybody. I love you. Bye.